Hey guys, guess what time it is? Yes, that's day 2 of movies that were made from or about serial killers and or true crime. Yesterday I did cover Ed Gein, the Plainsville Ghoul, and today we are covering the 44 caliber killer, also known as the Son of Sam, aka David Richard Berkowitz. I can't look at tortoises right now. Sad to say, guys, if you heard in my previous podcasts about my tortoise, sad to report that my tortoise has passed away, and I'm still reeling over that loss because that was one of my babies, and I value all my babies. Yeah, it's still hard on me. Continuing on, guys. David Richard Berkowitz, aka the Son of Sam. How many movies and TV shows were based off his life? Let's count them, shall we? Some of them were TV movies, like for Lifetime or USA or whatever, and then others were like made for different shows, like Sci-Fi and ID and whatnot. So there's The Lost Tapes, Son of Sam, Testimonies, Profiles in Faith, The Killing of America, Serial Killer, Son of Sam, Hunt for the Killer. What's this one? Okay. It's just telling about the story about Son of Sam. There's a documentary on Netflix, Summer of Terror. The choice is yours. It was also featured on Rock Docs from VH1. What do we know about David Berkowitz? It was way before my time. I was born in the 90s, but my mom was up and about around that era, but this was in New York and we live in Nevada. So what did you hear on the news about the Son of Sam?
Is that the one who was killing the couples and stuff?
In the cars, yeah, the 44 caliber killer.
That they have found some couples and they were linking them all to one person who was killing them. Like couples and stuff like that. I mean, he was shooting them when they were in the cars, like together, like not separate or taking them out or anything like that. I believe he shot them when they were in the vehicles, and he was like watching them make out and stuff like that. That's how crazy he was. But then he was telling people he was possessed, that a dog was telling him to do these things. What the hell's that?
What
kind of bullshit. I smell caca. Nobody took that for real. Yeah, Lassie's telling you to do shit.
Lassie.
What's that, Lassie? I should go shoot him? Okay.
Jesus. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Alright, guys. On July 26, 1976, Donna Laura, a pretty petite 18-year-old, sat in an Oldsmobile chatting with her friend Judy Valenti. The car was parked in front of Donna's apartment building at 2860 Buer. I'm pronouncing some shit wrong. Sorry, guys. Buer Avenue in the Bronx, New York. One of the numbers of the apartment buildings that lined up a quiet street in a middle-class neighborhood. At about 1 a.m, Donna's father, who had been out, returned to the building and spotted Donna and Judy in the car. He suggested that Donna come in soon, and she said she would be right up. Less than a minute later, the two women were distracted by an appearance of a dark-haired man wearing a denim jacket and jeans carrying a paper bag. They watched as he calmly walked to the passenger side of the car where Donna was sitting, and Donna turned to Judy. "What does he want?" Suddenly, a pistol emerged from the bag, and the man dropped it into a squatting position, the gun held into both hands. He was in the classic combat shooter's pose and fired 5 shots through the passenger window, shattering it and shattering Donna Laura. Upstairs, her father was startled by the rapid-fire crescendo and thought a car was backfiring. He went downstairs and was assaulted by the horrendous sight of his daughter covered with blood and her friend shrieking hysterically. Soon, Donna Laura would be dead, the first victim of the Son of Sam, the name that would terrorize New York City. So this is an excerpt from a book called The Killer Book of Serial Killers. It's by Tom Philbin and Michael Philbin. And this was the beginning part of what became a nightmare for New York City around 76. Son of Sam. Everyone always thought SOS meant son of Satan. But for some reason, like, I don't know why they thought it'd be like, whatever. So before we get into the rest of his murders, we're just going to do a little backdrop of where he grew up. Berkowitz grew up in New York City and had served in the United States Army. Using a .44 special caliber bulldog revolver, he killed 6 people and wounded 7 others by July 1977. So I'm just going to pause there and say he did serve in the Army. It's kind of like asks the question, was he suffering for any type of PTSD? Like, some people have switches and they fade out and they have an episode like they're back in war. If he had seen any combat, like, you know, like, was he reliving an episode of a moment that, like, he's seen or took part of? I don't know if anybody had questioned that.
I don't know.
The killing spree terrorized New Yorkers and gained a whole worldwide notoriety. Berkowitz eluded the biggest police manhunt in the history of New York City, while leaving letters that mocked the police and promised further crimes, which were highly publicized by the press. So, another Zodiac type of issue here. Remember how the Zodiac was, like, writing the deciphered letters and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Let's see. Does my book have anything about their letters? No. Okay. He was arrested on August 10th, 1977, and subsequently indicted for the 8 shootings. He confessed to all of them and initially claimed to have been obeying the orders of a demon manifested in the form of a dog belonging to his neighbor Sam. Berkowitz was found mentally competent to stand trial. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was incarcerated in state prison. He subsequently admitted that the dog and devil story was a hoax. And of course, further police investigations, Berkowitz was also implicated in many unsolved arsons around the city. So, this is what they were saying about there was a thing, but my mom was saying is that he was saying he was possessed, and not possessed, but he was following the orders of a dog telling him to kill people. I'm like,
that sounds stupid.
that's what he was claiming. And if you watch the movies and stuff, there was this one movie, a scene in a movie where he's like hallucinating or something, and you see a dog talking, and like, that's not real. I mean, some people can use, or did use, the devil made me do it excuse. As we all well know, The Conjuring 3, the devil made me do it. That was based off of something that Ed and Lorraine Warren kind of just like, you know, justified it as such, because they had recordings of the person being, you know, the possessed and whatnot.
And about the boy.
Yeah, there was certain things that were factual with real possession, other than what David Berkowitz tried to say that he was listening to a possessed dog. I'm sorry, this is still kind of funny to me. I mean, I was watching like clips and pieces of it to see where I can get with this, and I was like, okay, he is hallucinating. And I'm trying to wonder, just I keep asking, I go, since he did serve in the Army, was he suffering for any PTSD? Because that's so you know, fresh in my brain. Carrying on, the intense coverage of the case made by the media lent a kind of celebrity status to Berkowitz, which he seemed to enjoy, as noted by some observers. In response, the New York State legislature enacted this new statutes, known popularly as the Son of Sam laws, designed to keep criminals from financially profiting from the publicity created by their crimes. So, if you guys were thinking you were going to get some kind of clout or money from committing a crime, you can thank the Son of Sam for nicking that in the butt. The statutes have remained in New York law despite various legal challenges. Similar laws have been enacted in other several states, which is good because I don't think they need to fucking gain monetary anything for the crimes they fucking committed. People are fucking weird that way. Maybe it's because they want to sell their story and get money that way. I mean,
people do crazy shit for that.
Yeah, I mean, people do a lot of different shit for money. Let's see. Berkowitz has been incarcerated since his arrest and is serving a 6th consecutive life sentence. Damn. You know, he's leaving that place in a fucking pine box. Or in a bag. Preferably probably a recyclable.
He just needs to go, that's all.
He's gonna be in a biodegradable body bag. Dark humor. Bing! During the mid-1990s, he amended his confession to claim that he had been a member of a violent satanic cult, orchestrated the incident as a ritual murder. Alright, I'm gonna stop you guys right there, or stop this shit right here, because every time someone says the devil made me do it, or whatever, they always bring in satanic cults. But what defines a satanic cult, though? Who knows? It could have just been like a group of people that want to do some dumb shit. I know cults are very much real and present to this present day. But the thing is, you're going to go that far. Why didn't they come for you in the beginning? You gotta figure it out, because, you know, they say anybody that talks bad about them, like if they got arrested and say they're part of a cult, their members would come after you. Right?
Someone like us, yeah. If they were a real cult and they didn't want you to talk shit.
Yeah, like, so take like the Manson family, how they kind of like all banded together.
Yeah.
And then the one person that testified against Charles Manson, all their cult members like were harassing her. So it kind of like, okay, if he was a part of this cult, why didn't they silence him in the beginning? So, you know, he wouldn't implicate them, because if he talks, they're gonna get them in trouble. Yeah. All right, back to it. A few of law enforcement authorities have said that his claims might be credible, but he remains the only person ever charged with the shootings. The new investigation of the murders began in 1996, but were suspended indefinitely after inconclusive findings. So even that was a fucking thing, a load of shit. I mean, he's trying to pawn something on people that have anything to do with him. So, stupid ass. Early life, guys. Let's see what made the man the fucking psycho that we know. David Berkowitz was born Richard David Falco. Wow. On June 1st, 1953, in Brooklyn. His mother, Elizabeth Betty Broder, grew up as part of an impoverished Jewish family, but worked as a waitress. She married Tony Falco, an Italian American, in 1936. After a marriage of less than 4 years, Tony Falco left her for another woman. In 1950, Broder started a relationship with a married man named Joseph Kleinman. 3 years later, she became pregnant with a child from whom she named Richard David Falco. Within a few days away of Richard's birth, Broder gave the child away. So, intense mother issues, I guess you can say that. If he found out the truth, he'd probably have like some bit of bitter remorse towards his mom for giving him up. Although her reasons for doing so are unknown, writers have surmised that Kleinman threatened to abandon her if she kept the baby and used his name. Huh. Yeah. The infant boy was adopted by Pearl and Nathan Berkowitz of the Bronx. The Jewish-American couple were hardware store retailers of modest means, childless in middle age, and they reversed the order of the boy's first and middle name to give them their own surname, raising young David Richard Berkowitz as their only child. So he was adopted by another family after his mom gave him up so she could keep her man. That's really fucked up. I like doing my own sound effects. All right. So, journalist John Vincent Sanders wrote that Berkowitz's childhood was somewhat troubled. Although the above-average intelligence, he lost interest in learning at an early age and became infatuated with petty larceny and starting fires. So he was a little firebug that stole. Neighbors and relatives will recall Berkowitz as difficult, spoiled, and a bully. I mean, I could picture that. I mean, he was kind of affluent in a way, kind of, sort of. His parents had their own business.
His parents did?
Yeah, because they had a hardware store. Let's see. His adoptive parents consulted at least one psychotherapist due to his misconduct, but his behavior never resulted in legal intervention or a serious mention on his school records. He attended public school 123 and public school 77. Berkowitz's adoptive mother died of breast cancer when he was only 14 years old, and his home life became strained during later years, particularly because he had disliked his adoptive father's second wife. He lived with his father while attending Christopher Columbus High School, graduating in 71, and college in a 4.5 room apartment at 170 Dresser Loop and Co-op City in the Bronx, from 67 to 71. In 71, at the age of 17, Berkowitz joined the U.S. States Army and served at Fort Knox in the United States, and was with the Infantry Division in South Korea. Okay, so I was right about the whole thing, if he saw action or not. He was in South Korea. After an honorable discharge, Ooh.
These guys went to the magnets. They work with magnets.
Uh-huh.
You see those polishes?
Oh, yeah. In 1974, he located his birth mother, Betty. After a few visits, she disclosed the details of his birth. The news greatly disturbed Berkowitz, and he was particularly distraught by the array of reluctant father figures. Forensic anthropologist Elliot Layton described Berkowitz's discovery of his adoption and birth details as the primary crisis of his life. Should have left it alone. Should not have looked for Betty. Let's see. His communication with his birth mother later relapsed, and for the time he remained in communication with his half-sister Rosalind. He attended the Bronx Community College for a year, enrolling in the spring of 1975. In 76, he went to work as a driver for the Co-op City Taxi Company. He subsequently had several non-professional jobs. At the time of his arrest, he was working as a letter sorter for the postal services. So, the crimes. Oh boy. The crimes. It's the shitload of crime. Let's see what my good book has to say about him. Alright. Berkowitz believed that demons talked to him. The killing of Donald Lauro had a calming effect on those demons, but gradually demands began again. The demons wanted more blood and more shooting and more death. Soon the demands were so strong that Berkowitz, who tried to fight them, could no longer refuse. In October 23rd, I'm so kind of fucking blood right here. I'm looking duh right now, guys. 1976, he went to Queens again on the hunt. In the Flushing area, he spotted a red Ford Galaxy and followed it with his white Ford. Berkowitz saw that there were two people in the car. He couldn't tell whether they were male or female. One had long dark hair, the favorite of the demons. Soon a couple parked near the corner of 33rd Avenue and 159th Street. Berkowitz parked right behind him. Inside the car was Carl De Niro, a young man who was soon to enter the Air Force. Driving the car was Rosemary Keenan, 18 years old, whose father was a New York City police officer. Oh, shit. Berkowitz approached the car concealing a heavy gun under a denim jacket. He went to the passenger side of the car without further ado. Fired 5 times through the window. De Niro was shot in the head, but miraculously, Rosemary Keenan was not hit and bolted from the car screaming. Despite being shot 5 times, De Niro amazingly survived, but required a metal plate in his head to replace the bone fragments blown away in the shooting. So, .44 caliber. It can do some damage, like really bad damage. The demons were howling for blood again in less than a month, and on the chilly, windy night of November 26, 1976, Berkowitz was back in his predatory mode. 2 girls, a 16-year-old Donna DeMasi and 18-year-old Joanne Lomino, had returned to Queens after seeing a movie in Manhattan. They got off the bus at 262nd Street and Hillside Avenue and started walking home. Joanne had a 12:30 curfew as it was almost midnight. As they walked, they noticed a man staring and starting to follow them. They were worried and walked faster. By the time they got to Joanne's home, he was nowhere in sight. Then they saw him coming towards them. Joanne searched for bags for her keys. The girls were nervous, but the man, dark-haired, stocky, wearing a denim jacket, didn't seem terribly threatening. The next instant, he was firing at them. He hit them both, and he was gone. The girls both lived, but Joanne Lomino paid a terrible price. One of the bullets had severed her spine, and she was paralyzed from the waist down. So, that was one of the excerpts from the book I have. And and she got the spray bottle. That's funny. During the mid-1970s, Berkowitz started to commit violent crimes. He bungled at the first attempt murder using a knife, then switched to a handgun. Then began the lengthy crime spree throughout the New York boroughs of the Bronx, Queens, and Brooklyn. He sought out young female victims. He purportedly most attracted white women with dark, wavy hair. But all but the crime sites involved 2 victims. He infamously committed some of his attacks while the women sat with boyfriends in parked cars. He exhibited the enduring enjoyment of his activities, often returning to the scenes of the crime. Foreman stabbing in December 1975. Berkowitz claimed that he was 22 years old when he committed his first attack on Christmas Eve, 1975, when he used a hunting knife to stab 2 women in Co-op City. The first alleged victim, a Hispanic woman, was never identified by police. The second was a 15-year-old Michelle Foreman, a sophomore at Truman High School, whom he stabbed 6 times on the bridge near Dresser Loop, and whose injuries were so serious enough for her to be hospitalized for a week. Berkowitz was not suspected of these crimes, but soon after he relocated to the apartment in Yonkers in New York. Off topic, has anybody ever seen that movie Lost in Yonkers? Fantastic movie, it's funny as hell. Laura and Valenti. Oh yeah, so I just read you guys that Donna Luaria and Jody Valenti. I just read you that guy, that murder or that shooting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hold on, guys.
Yeah, how we flap so hard. Is that cute?
That's cute. My mom showed me a dancing, is that a seal?
Yes.
My mom just showed me a dancing seal show thingy on her phone. So I covered the De Niro and Keenan shooting, the Luara and Valenti shooting. So we knew that De Niro was going into the Air Force, and he had a bullet wound in his head where he had to get steel plates to cover. And so In all the attacks, they never were enough, I guess you could say, they couldn't see his features because it was mainly always dark when he came out. The police determined that the bullets embedded in Keenan's car were .44 caliber, and they were so deformed that they thought it likely to be linked to another particular weapon. Gennaro had a shoulder-length hair, and police later speculated that the shooter mistaken him for a woman.
For a woman?
He thought the guy was a woman because the guy had the long hair. Yeah, the man had the long hair. He mistaken the man for the woman. Another thing I noticed when it comes to male serial killers, when it comes to killing women, they always go for a specific type. It's never a random, person, like say he's gonna go up and shoot a blonde chick and go to shoot another girl with a different color hair. Mostly in a strategic pattern, they go after the person with the same features, like long hair, specific color of said long hair. If you look at Ted Bundy, he went after women with long brunette hair. He didn't like short hair, but it was brunette. He went after women with brunette hair. Jeffrey Dahmer went after young boys. Didn't matter what race, just if they were young. Gacy went after lanky, I guess you could say lanky teenagers, because he knows if he got a buff guy, the buff guy could fight back. Alright, so high school student Donna DeMasi, 16, and Joanne Lamino. As I read, they were both ambushed while walking, and they had made it to Lamino's home in Flowood Park after they were being followed when a man dressed in military fatigues, who seemed to be in his early 20s, approached them and began asking for directions. In a high-pitched voice, he said, "Can you tell me how to get to..." And then all of a sudden, he produced a revolver. He shot each of the victims once as they fell to the ground injured. He fired several more times, striking the apartment building before running away. A neighbor heard gunshots, rushed out of the apartment building, and saw a blonde man rush by gripping a pistol in his hand. DeMasi had been shot in the neck, but the wound was not life-threatening. Lamino, like I said before, she was rendered paraplegic. How awful. Alright. Fruin and Dell shooting, January in 1977. About 12:40 a.m. on January 30th, 1977. Christine Fruin, a secretary 26, and her fiancé John Dale, a bartender 30, were sitting in Dale's car near Forest Hills Lure Station in Queens, preparing to drive to a dance hall after seeing the movie Rocky. 3 gunshots penetrated the car. In panic, Dale drove away for help. He suffered minor superficial injuries, but Fruin was shot twice and died several hours later in the hospital. Neither victim has seen their attacker. Police made the first public acknowledgement that the Fruin and Dale shooting was similar to earlier incidents, and that the crimes may be associated. All victims had been struck with a .44 caliber bullet, and these shootings seemed to target young women with long, dark hair. Like I said, guys, characteristics. Pay attention to characteristics and specific details. They go after certain characteristics. NYPD Sergeant Richard Conlon stated that the police were leaning towards a connection in all these cases. Composite sketches were released of the black-haired Laura Valenti shooter and the blonde Lamino DeMasi shooter, and Conlon denoted that the police were looking for multiple suspects, not just one. Oh, I'm gonna end up butchering this name. Voskerichian shooting, March 8th. I am so sorry. I cannot pronounce that. I'm just going to go by Virginia because that's her name. About 7:30 p.m. on March 8th, 1977, Columbia University student Virginia, 19, was walking home from school when she was confronted by an armed man. She lived about a block from where Christine Freeland had been shot, and despite the move to defend herself, Virginia lifted her textbooks between her and the killer, but the makeshift shield was penetrated. The bullet had struck her in the head and ultimately killed her. Press and publicity on March 10th. On March 10th, 1977, the press conference of NYPD officials and New York City Mayor Abraham Beame declared that the same .44 Bulldog revolver had fired shots and killed Laura and Virginia. Official documents were later revealed. However, they're saying the police strongly suspect that the same .44 Bulldog had been used in all the shootings, and the evidence was actually inconclusive. I mean, do your jobs. It's the same fucking gun. This infuriates me. There's good police work and bad police work. Either you want to get the guy or you just don't give a shit. Right? I mean...
Yeah, because they're being lazy.
It seems like they're just like kind of brushing it off though. Like, okay, it's a .44 caliber.
It's hard to solve. I don't know. It's a fucking puzzle. Well, sort of, but you know what I mean. Ew.
Okay. The crimes were discussed by the local media virtually every day. Circulation increased dramatically for the New York Post and daily newspapers with graphic crime reporting and commentary. Foreign media featured many of the reports as well, including front pages articles of newspapers such as the Vatican's L'Osservatore Romano, the Hebrew newspaper Mariv, and Soviet Izvestia. So, not only was it gaining traction around the state of New York and probably everywhere else in the States, but it was actually gaining traction from other countries as well. You gotta remember, when media goes out there and people pick it up, they will spread it like wildfire. Crimes that continued through April and July in 77. Oh man, they just showed a picture of the couple. Isao and Surani shooting. Valentina Surani and Alexander Isao. About 3 a.m. on April 17th, 1977, Alexander Isao, a tow truck operator, age 20, and Valentina Siriani, a Lehman College student and an aspiring actress and model, 18, were sitting in a car belonging to Isao's brother on the Hutchinson River Parkway Service Road in the Bronx. About a block from the girl's home and only a few blocks away from the scene of the Laura Valenti shooting. A resident of a nearby building heard 4 shots and called the police. Siriani, who was sitting in the driver's seat, was shot once and Isao twice, both in the head. Siriani died at the scene and Isao died at the hospital several hours later without being able to describe his attackers. Police said the weapon used for the crime was the same one that they had suspected in earlier shootings. On September 23, 1993, an interview with journalist Marie Terry at the Sullivan Correctional Facility, Berkowitz admitted it was him who committed the crime. Obviously, because he went after people that were parked in cars. All right, here we go. Crime scene letters. Another kind of a rip from Jack the Ripper, because Jack the Ripper was the one that actually left letters for the cops taunting them. That may be one of my next episodes. Police discovered a handwritten letter near the bodies of Isao and Siriani, mostly written in block capitals with a few lowercase letters and addressed to NYPD Captain Joseph Borelli. The letter, Berkowitz revealed the name Son of Sam for the first time. The press had previously dubbed the killer the .44 caliber killer because of the weapon of choice. The letter was initially withheld from the police. Or not from the public, from the public. The police actually held it from the public because, like I said, it will spread like wildfire and cause manic hysteria. And some of my other podcasts, you'll hear me mention stuff like about that. You spread the fear, and the fear goes wild. People become massively paranoid. Alright, so the letter was, let's see. But some of its contents were revealed to the press, and the name Son of Sam quickly replaced the old name. The letter expressed the killer's determination to continue his work, taunted police for their fruitless efforts to capture him in full. The misspellings intact, the letter read, I say goodbye and good night. Police, let me haunt you with these words. I'll be back. I'll be back to be what? I can't read that. The handwriting is terrible. Interpreted. I don't know. Interpreted. No, that's not it. That dude can't fucking spell. As bang, 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 bang. Ugh. In your murder, Mr. Monster. That was the letter wrote by Son of Sam. I am deeply hurt by you calling me a woman hater. I am not. But I am a monster. I am the son of Sam. I am a little brat. When Father Sam gets drunk, he gets mean. He beats his family. Sometimes he ties me to the back of the house. Other times he locks me in the garage. Sam loves to drink blood. Go out and kill, commands Father Sam. But find behind our house some rest. Mostly young, raped and slaughtered. Their blood drained. It's just bones now. Papa Sam keeps me locked in the attic too. I can't get out, but I look out the attic window and I watch the world go by. I feel like an outsider. I'm on a different wavelength than anybody else, programmed to kill. However, to stop me, you must kill me. Attention, all police. Shoot me first. Shoot to kill or else. Keep out of my way or you will die. Papa Sam is old now. He needs some blood to preserve his youth. He has too many heart attacks. Too many heart attacks. Ugh, me who it hurts. Sonny, my boy.
What? Freaking Leatherface's grandpa?
I have no idea. I'm reading what the transcript says. I miss my pretty princess most of all. It's a bat. I'm sorry, guys. I have affectionate for bats. They're so freaking cute. Whoa.
Whoa.
That was weird.
Why you go? Just go home. It ain't time for you guys to be here.
Yeah, go home. Go already.
I miss my pretty princess most of all. She is resting in Our Lady's house. That's cool. But I'll see her soon. I am the monster. I refuse to read that name because, I don't like reading demonic names and invoking shit that doesn't belong here. The chubby behemoth. I love to hunt, prowling the streets, looking for fair game. Tasty meat. The women. Wow, they spelled women wrong. Jesus. It's spelled the women. Weemon. He spelled Weemon. Of queens are the prettiest of all. But he's trying to talk with an accent. Oh my god. Or like write a letter with an accent.
You got a barista, then you got a janister, you got a sister, you got a manger. America, that's how we see it.
You're a dork.
You're a potato. Stop.
I am a potato.
I live for the hunt, my life bled for Papa, Mr. Borelli, sir. Oh, sorry, guys.
Me and my pa will go hunting and be mistaken for a deer. Want to do
Your
one?
paw? I don't even know how to use a stick. What are you talking about?
Oh my god, guys. Presenting the comedy effects of my mom and child. Oh my god, it's funny. Okay, where did I go? Oh.
Shoot, I can shoot him from 290 yards away with a scope. Kapow!
Okay. Where am I? Okay. Mr. Borelli, sir, I don't want to kill anyone anymore, sir. No, sir. No more, but I must honor thy father. I want to make love to the world. Ever sick. I love people. I don't belong on earth. Return me to yahoos.
Kind of fucking trip.
To the people of Queens, I love you, and I want to wish you a happy Easter. May God bless you in this life and the next. For now, I say goodbye and good night. Police, let me haunt you with these words. I'll be back to be interpreted. Okay. As bang, 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 yours and you're murdered, Mr. Monster. So someone actually did decipher the messy handwriting that David Berkowitz left. Oh my god. That gave me a fucking headache trying to read all of that.
You should put your glasses on.
Oh my god. Okay. What's the hell is yahoos? I thought that's what we call people that are crazy.
Women.
Yeah, women. Oh my god.
I guess?
I have no idea.
See you to yahoos?
Return me to yahoos. I have no idea.
Or...
I don't.
Yeah, return him in a box. Didn't go home in a box.
And at the time, police speculated that the letter writer might be familiar with Scottish English. The phrase "me hoot it hurts sonny boy" was taken as a Scottish accent version of "my heart it hurts sonny boy." So they're thinking that he was writing in a Scottish English type of phrasing, I guess you want to call it that.
He ain't no leprechaun. What's wrong with
If he was
let's see.
Scottish,
No, technically you're talking about Irish people. Irish people are considered with leprechauns. Scottish and Irish are different things.
Yeah. Get you that straight. Phyllis was laughing at me for what I wrote.
Okay, so the police also hypothesized that the shooter blamed a dark-haired nurse for his father's death due to the too many heart attacks phrase and the fact that Luara was a medical technician and Valenti was studying to be a nurse.
Yeah, we mistook it.
The killer's unusual attitude towards police and the media received widespread scrutiny. Psychologists observed that many serial killers gain gratification by eluding pursuers and observers. The feeling of control of media, law enforcement, and even the population provide a source of social power over them. So I'm going to stop and take a gander here, and I'm going to say, like Jack the Ripper. In Jack the Ripper case in Whitechapel, London, guys, he actually wrote letters to taunt the police. Oh my god. My mom's showing me things and she's cracking up here. So, like...
I'm going to swallow the peanuts in their stuff.
Yeah,
a peanut. That's what I said, a peanut.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, my throat hurts now.
I ain't saying shit.
What? I said a peanut. Nasty.
Like, alright, so... I don't know.
Your mom's a nut. Oh, she better die.
Ow.
Okay, so, like I'm saying, like in the Jack the Ripper case, he did write letters to taunt the police.
Yeah.
And, like, if you notice any other serial killer that was out there, look at the BTK killer. He was actually doing that too. Was Dennis Rader wrote letters to provoke the police that they're not going to catch him. And they didn't catch him for, like, the longest fucking time until, a couple years back. They identified Dennis Rader as the BTK killer.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind when you see people or like incidents of that accord and people in letters popping up out of nowhere. Let's see. After consulting with several psychiatrists, police released a psychological profile of their suspect. On May 26, 1977, he was described as a neurotic and probably suffering from paranoid schizophrenia who believed himself to be a victim of demonic possession. So, oh my god. So much more, guys. There's like 7 more paragraphs. There was a letter that was sent to Daily News columnist Jimmy Breslin, and this is what it states. But on the reverse of the envelope, neatly, it was claimed to be from someone who claimed to be the .44 caliber shooter. The letter was postmarked early that same day in Englewood, New Jersey. On the reverse of the envelope, neatly hand-printed in 4 precisely centered lines, were the words, "Blood and family, darkness and death, absolute depravity. Hello from the gutters at NYC, which are filled with dog manure, vomit, stale wine, urine, and blood. Hello from the sewers of NYC, which swallow up these delicacies when they washed away by the sweeper trucks. Hello from the cracks in the sidewalks at NYC and the ants that dwell in the cracks that feed off the dry blood of the dead and has settled into the cracks. JB, I'm just dropping you a line to let you know that I appreciate your interest in those recent horrendous .44 killings. I also want to tell you that I read your column daily and I find it quite informative. Tell me, Jim, what will you have for July 29th? Can you forget about me like you have? Because I don't care for publicity. However, you must not forget Donna Luara. You cannot let people forget her either. She was a very, very sweet girl. But Sam's a thirsty lad, and he won't let me stop killing until he gets his fill of blood. Mr. Breslin, sir, don't think that because you haven't heard from me for a while that I went to sleep. No, rather, I'm still here, like a spirit roaming in the night, thirsty, hungry, seldom stopping to rest, anxious to please Sam. I love my work now. The void has been filled. Perhaps we shall meet face to face someday, or perhaps I will be blown away by cops with smoking 38s. Whatever, I shall be fortunate enough to meet you, and I will tell you about Sam if you like. And I will introduce you to him. His name is Sam the Terrible. Not knowing what the future holds, shall I say farewell? I will see you in the next job, or shall I say see you in my next handiwork at the next job. Remember, Miss Laura, thank you in their blood and from the gutter. Sam's Creation 44. Here are some names to help you along. Forward them to the inspector to use the NCIC, the Duke of Death, the Wicked King Wicker, the 22 Disciples of Hell, John Wheaties, rapist and suffocator of young girls. P.S. Please inform the detectives working the slayings to remain. P.S. J.B. Please inform all detectives working the case that I wish them the best of luck. Keep them digging, drive on, think positive, get off your butts, knock on coffins, etc. Upon my capture, I promise to buy all the guys the working case new pairs of shoes if I can get up the money. Son of Sam. Underneath the Son of Sam was a logo or sketch combined with several symbols. The writer questioned what will you have for July 29th was considered an ominous threat. July 29th would be the anniversary of the first .44 caliber shooting. Breslin notified police who thought the letter was probably from someone who had knowledge of the shootings. The Breslin letter was sophisticated in wording and presentation, especially when compared to the crudely written first letter, and police suspected that it may have been created in an art studio or a similar professional location by someone with expertise in printing, calligraphy, or graphic design. The usual writing caused police to speculate that the killer was a comic letterer, and they asked staff members of DC Comics whether they recognized the lettering. The Wicked King Wicker reference caused police to arrange a private screening of The Wicker Man, the 1973 horror movie. If you guys seen The Wicked Man, The Wicker Man, it's about it was a British folk horror film, and it was about a police sergeant who went to the remote island of Summers Isle in search of a missing girl. Howie, a devout Christian, was appalled to find that the inhabitants of the islands had abandoned Christianity, the former practice of Celtic paganism, and In the end, spoiler alert, they capture him and they throw him in the Wicker Man and light him on fire. You might have seen the Nicolas Cage version of it. How did he get burned? That and, oh my god, the bees, not the bees.
Got like about 10 more minutes. We gotta get this house ready.
Oh yeah. So, the Daily New York News published the article and the letter a week later after agreeing with the police to withhold portions of the text, and Breslin urged the killer to surrender himself. The dramatic article made that the day's paper with the highest selling addition to the Daily News to date, with more than 1.1 million copies were sold. Police received thousands of tips based off of the references and publicized portions of the letters. All proved useless. All the shooting victims to date had long dark hair. Thousands of women in New York acquired shortcuts or brightly colored hair dyes. And beauty supply stores had trouble meeting the demand for wigs. So, in paranoia, women were actually cutting their hair and dyeing it so they wouldn't become the next victim. I wouldn't blame them either. I would dye my hair too and chop it off. Mohawk that bitch. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to end it here for tonight. I will continue on tomorrow with the rest of the case of the Son of Sam. I have babysitting duties. Yay! Going to be watching my grandkids. So, y'all be safe, wear a mask, don't do nothing stupid. If you guys are driving out of state, be safe, watch the roads, hand sanitizer, everything. Don't drink and drive, wear a seatbelt, don't use your phone while you're driving because that's bad. Anything else?
Even if you're the killing ghost, still do not drive while you're playing on your phone or something. Please do not.
Treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
That's
for the day.
That's our
Love one another.
If you guys have any suggestions, you know where to find me on my social. You can find me on my IG, which is Odd Pods of the Odd Broad, or you can add me a voice message on the Anchor app. So, peace out, guys.